when we run a campaign, we can see how much sentiment or brand awareness has been risen by asking a period of questions at the start and a period of questions at the end. Those that have seen the content will more often than not be more engaged or more interacting with brand than those that haven't seen it. So it's just a good way of showing how much of an impact that our campaigns have had.
Just got a G-wheel march up.
You gotta get him pumped.
Gotta get him pumped. How are you?
I'm great, how are you? Where have you been?
I did an agency presentation this morning with our good friends at Mindshare. With May, who was on top form. Yeah, it was good. In today, got a big pitch at 3:30. CEO of the company we're pitching to is flying in from Tel Aviv and then flying back tonight. It's a 12-hour round trip for him for an hour and a half meeting, but I think it's gonna be worth it. Tomorrow, I'm on the Jackmate podcast. So Jackmate, who shouted us out on his video very kindly.
Next up, a bit of a weird one, really. We've got the Goat agency, who are an agency, but they create a daily vlog. Now this is a really tricky one for me because 99% of the time I fucking hate vlogs. However, they just so happen to be the 1% of the time I don't in fact I quite like them. So I was thinking in every one of these videos I can maybe shout out a channel that I think deserves a bit more love. And in this video, it's gonna be them.
I'm on his podcast called Happy Hour tomorrow, so you'll probably come with me to that. What else have I got on today? A few calls with the US, and a podcast later at 6:30.
Like, I had a look at the Goat agency, and I know you guys don't even sign your influencers. You literally just pick them for work and stuff. And I've come across a lot of influencer agencies that
like talent agencies.
Yeah, where they just kind of sign and they only do the work.
Yeah, that's not our style.
So where did you get that idea from, just not to sign them?
Yeah, that's a good question.
An apple a day keeps the doctor away, but I'm severely allergic, so I won't eat any apples. Is this pod time?
I've got custard cream in my mouth. This is pod time.
This is pod time.
Working through some things. We've got a lot of interest in a lot of our campaigns, so we just sort of going through the interest and making sure we select the best influencers for the campaign at the moment.
We're building a whole proposal around nostalgic moments and culturally relevant
classics.
Yeah. And we want people to talk about them on the platform that they're on, or indirectly, I guess.
Whenever we have a good idea, we get carried away with it because we're actually enjoying it. But I like the idea. I like the idea of like one of those movies you watched when you were like 12 or 13, and you didn't realise it had adult jokes in it.
What's going on, boys?
I'm currently building a training document.
When's your training session?
It's not actually scheduled in.
You're just making one.
Yeah, I did one a couple weeks, maybe last week or the week before on like Facebook Ads Manager, and a lot of people ask about what we can do with surveys and lead generation. So I'm putting together a special doc on how we can integrate into campaigns and stuff like that. So when we run a campaign, we can see how much sentiment or brand awareness has been risen by asking a period of questions at the start and a period of questions at the end to 2 different focus groups, and seeing those that have seen the content will more often than not be more engaged or more interacting with brand than those that haven't seen it. So it's just a good way of showing how much of an impact that our campaigns have had. We've run it on a few different campaigns. We've seen growth anywhere between about 12 to 20% in terms of receptiveness and engagement and awareness of a brand and their activity and their interaction with that audience.
What brings you guys in here?
These two have been on holiday, so just catching up on what's been going on. I guess even when you're on holiday, you can still stay up to date with what's going on. Like everything getting posted on LinkedIn and being posted on the blog, it's quite easy to stay up to date and not lose out. I mean, myself, for example, or any of us in the BD team, a lot of times we're out of the office and meeting with clients and not spending much time actually in the walls of the office, whereas having the blog you can still keep up to date and know what's going on, and it just keeps that social community kind of within the company alive and keeps everybody up to date with what's going on.
Love the nails.
Thanks. I painted them myself.
Yeah, it's good. Kyle!
Oh, this is exciting.
Daniel. Daniel.
They're actually pretty big things, aren't they?
Ooh.
Right.
Whoa, Jesus, my head.
Alright, there we go. It's all processed, otherwise, like the stuff, we're not allowed to give it out to anybody in the office anymore. So you can't have Whisk pick up 8 boxes and start walking off.
Is there a fucking woman got to fill in for a yogurt?
Yeah, there's a process that you've got to go through.
I've never seen anyone more protective of their yogurt.
Look at him. Fragile.
Yeah, that's a good question. When the market first started, and let's say the market started 5 years ago, the influencer market, there was 2 ways you could go. You could there's 3 ways actually. You could go software, so you become this automation platform where a brand can log in and like choose the influencers and then the influencers post. That was one option. 2, the option was a talent.
Fire, right?
Exactly, yeah. Fire, Takumi, like all of the there's so many. Second option was talent. We could go and represent 35 people, all with 1 million followers, and take a 20% cut on everything that we bring them. That was option 2. Option 3 was to be what we are now, which is completely neutral. Agency, we pick who we want. We represent the brand, not the influencer. And we represent the brand on behalf of influencer campaigns. No one was doing that. Everyone was talent, agency, or tech. We didn't want to be tech because we're not tech guys. We don't really care about tech. We care about data. We don't necessarily care about tech.
Okay.
Then the talent thing, we realized that talent didn't care who they were represented by. They cared who gave them money. And in the early stages, it was so fickle. Like, if I went to KSI 5 years ago, I've got £1 million deal for you, but you can only have it if you sign with me. He'd sign with me tomorrow.
Yeah, of course he would.
Yeah, so once we realised that dynamic, we just went, okay, well, you guys are more than willing to control the talent, but we control the money. If we control the money, we've got all the power in the market.
What are you going to wear on Valentine's Day?
I'm just thinking like angel wings and a thong.